Right. What a beautiful view. I mean, there you see the mountains, the folds of the mountains. It's praise God for the weather. It did rain a little bit this morning when we started. It was just drizzling, not really rain. Right there, a village down there, and just across that, then you get to Galore there behind the hills, in that direction. Right, so it's really beautiful here. When you live in Yangon, and the only thing a bit of height you have is like to go up to the rooftop to kind of see out over at least trees. But now they're cutting down all those trees as well. And they're building houses there, so soon you will only be able to see maybe the airplanes taking off there just behind the trees. Yeah, so it's a privilege to be in a place like this. It's super privilege. Praise God for this super privilege. So what is this chapter about? It's about the problems in the family still. It keeps on. The problems in the family keeps on. Because Jacob doesn't love his wife, Leah. And she knows it. And the whole fight with children, and then Rachel coming here and say, have sons with me, with my servant, okay, with Bilhah. And how he kind of went with that, and he slept with her, and she gave birth. And the names, how Rachel saw this as a fight, and she's fighting with her sister, and she's kind of winning here. This battle, she got the two sons, Dan and Issachar. And then after that, Leah then like, oh, now if that, then here's my wife, my servant, that is girl Zilpah, and she slept with her and had two sons with her. And then kind of the birth stopped. Rachel still no kids. Now there are already 10 sons. And what's going to happen next? Next is, actually it was still 8. Sorry, there were still 2 before they had to come. And so then Reuben, small boy that he was, went out to collect mandrakes, which they saw as a fertility, kind of a fruit that will heighten the fertility. Seemingly, I don't think. Well, although on the other hand, Leah, she had now as well a time when not having children, after having so many of them in a short time, feeling maybe that now God stopped, and maybe using this fruit might bring her fertility back, and then maybe she can, or maybe she just liked it. But anyhow, Rachel clearly thought that this might be something that she can use to maybe help her. Okay, so it's sleeping with Jacob, she's still not getting kids, and so maybe if they use this and then this fertility fruit, right, which might bring back or make her then conceive. So she was willing, and she asked Leah, and Leah's reaction to that was like, you already took my husband, you want to take now this fruit as well? And Rachel then said, okay, then he can come and sleep. So like bargaining, like selling her husband to her sister, right? One wife to the other wife, one sister to the other sister, kind of. And I guess I don't think Jacob would have been too well pleased in even coming home and his wife sold him out like that, or his beloved wife sold him out like that for fruit. Now again, she most likely had the idea of fertility in mind here. But whatever, it would not have been a nice surprise. Now, as a result, Leah got 2 more sons, and Rachel still no one. Now, after all this is said and done, then here Rachel got her first son, Joseph, at last. And the meaning of name is like that she'll have another one. So yeah, it's going to be kind of sad, because ultimately with the birth of the second son, Benjamin, she's going to die. And I guess Joseph would have been always be reminded of the fact that his name, she so much wanted the second son, and his name means as a second son, and with the birth of the second son, she will die. And these people had weird ways of how going on about naming the kids. Not so much what they wanted. In this family, right? It's not so much what they wanted the children to be, the essence of the child. Kind of, for example, how Adam named the animals there in the Garden of Eden, but more as a tool of war, right? In this dysfunctional family. So Joseph is just another one in that. And the only son was been named by Jacob is Benjamin, and although he gave him a different name than Rachel did when she died, right? So then after the birth of Joseph, this led to God's pushing on Jacob that it's time to go home. You had a good innings here, time to go home. So what led to that movement of wanting to go home is the birth of Joseph. And so he went to Laban and said, okay, Laban, so I don't know, I served you for this, I never took anything, and so I want to go home. Right, give my wives again. And so he said, so what do you want in return? He said, yeah, I don't want anything. Right, but the striped and the spotted sheep. And Laban agreed to that. And Laban had already a plan that he would take all of those out, so that Jacob had absolutely none to start with. And you kind of, if there's only the white ones, then you're not getting the combination there, right? But he kind of forgot that, he didn't know genealogy, right? So genes can, depending on, so this can happen. But anyhow, he did his best, that is Laban, by taking all those that ought to belong to Jacob away, and take them far away, so that Jacob they could not influence at all his flock, so as to be able to maybe bring this genetics in, and then Jacob. So he basically tried to make it impossible for Jacob to have any thing after working longer for him. But from the next chapter, we kind of learn that if that is Jacob's telling the truth, okay, that God kind of showed him in a dream, seemingly. It's not mentioned in this chapter, it's mentioned in the next chapter, how to get these animals. And so, put it like this, then Jacob had kind of insider information, insider trading, which is illegal in this case, kind of, but he needed it against someone like Laban, which is even worse of a deceiver than he himself was. Okay, he was better at deceiving others than he was Jacob, and Jacob understood it. He understood he had no chance. If God's not going to intervene here, he is just at loss. He will have a wife and kids, and he won't be able to provide for them. And so he started working, and he did this whole. We didn't exactly understand how this whole thing worked. Again, this most likely God working through it. And he actually got a big flock, and he knew as well which sheep are strong, which are weak. So when the weak were getting birth, he would not do all these gimmicks so as to get the kinds of flock he needs. So to keep the weak out of his flock and just the strong in his flock. Selective breeding, okay. And then ultimately, he became rich as well through doing this. And this is what we see in this chapter, okay. So now he kind of has the flock, he has the wife, and he has a lot of kids. Okay, 11 by then. The 12th will be born later on. He has 2 wives and kind of 2 extras. And so, now it's time to go home. It's time to return to the promised land. God said he will be with him. God has been with him. God's been keeping his word. So will God now lead him back home? And this is what we'll see in the next chapters. But for now, we will need to look at this chapter in more detail. And most likely we'll do that tomorrow, because it's now way past 5, or not way past, 5:15. And I still kind of want to walk around here a little bit and just see, maybe we can make some videos here. And then we still need to get home. We are not that far. but it's down this mountain, and sure, I don't want to go when it's dark down this mountain. It's pretty high up here. It doesn't look that high, but it's pretty high. The road's quite steep. So yeah, that's that for today. Praise God, we could get through a couple of chapters today. Let's always praise God and thank Him for everything.